God will do whatever he has to do to get you to the place you need to be in your purpose and in your destiny. Because he created you not just to live and just die. He created you to be a representation of him, to be an expression of him in the earth. And in order for him to get the glory out of you, to help other people that's waiting on you, he got to get you, he got to rescue you first. It's Serena. I'm at lunch at work, and I'm sitting in my car, and God just really reminded me of his goodness and his favor on my life. And I just want to share a story with you. So I have 2 young children, as you guys already know, and we were watching Frozen 2 last year. And we watched it on, one of the streaming platforms because of COVID. We didn't go see it. So anyway, we're watching the movie, and the scene cuts to where Elsa is headed to the glacier to figure out what's going on so that they can resolve to get the enchanted forest free from whatever spell that is under. And as she approaches, she realizes as she approaches the glacier, it's like her purpose begins to unfold before her, and the revelation of who she is in all to play, and this begins to unfold for her, and she begins to sing a song. And as I was listening to this song, Holy Spirit just, I can't describe it, but he made his presence known, and it was like he was whispering to me. Not that I heard anything, but it was like I could sense him saying to me, this song is you. This song is where you are. This song, listen, pay attention, And as I began to listen to the song, I immediately began to weep, because I felt like the song was speaking to deep desire, to know who I was, a deep desire to be accepted, a deep desire to be loved, to be wanted, all of those things, right? And so I'm listening to this, and as she begins to tell the song, it's like she's singing to her own self, and she's saying, it's okay, show yourself. I'm here now. It's a safe place. You can show yourself now. I can't wait to meet you. And then she goes on. It's like she's having this conversation with herself, not knowing that she's speaking to herself, which was just awesome, because it's like all my life I've been on this journey because I have a passion for God and I want to live for God, and I have all these things that God put in my heart to do to help other people. But there's some unresolved issues in my own life and in my own heart that I had not dealt with. And here I am on the other side of a traumatic experience, and God is saying, now you're ready. Now you can show yourself. Now you're going to be revealed. And so she progresses through the rest of the song. I encourage you to go take a listen, called Show Yourself, off of the Frozen 2 soundtrack. It goes into another part where all the pieces of the puzzle begins to come together. And when it presents itself before her, it's like now she sees her part. Now she sees who she is. And as she steps into that, stepping into her authority, stepping into who she is, her clothes change and she transforms into this beautiful light. And everything begins to shift and orchestrate itself around her in the way that God intended it. And then she hears the voice of her mother. And it's like her mother knew all along, but her mother begins to sing to her. And immediately Elsa begins to cry, because she now knows and understands who she is. She now knows and understands why. She now knows and understands her purpose. And that, I just sat there and I cried and wept like a baby. My kids looking at me like I'm crazy, like, Mom, what's wrong? Why are you crying? But the song spoke volumes to me. because it was like God was saying, it's safe here. It's safe now. You can be who you are. You can open your mouth and release your voice. You can be your authentic true self and stand in that. You can you are ready, and the people are waiting for you to release what I put inside of you for them. And it was like when she stepped into her place and stepped into her authority and her purpose, her clothes instantly changed. And so it was like God was taking off the last final layers of rejection and misunderstanding and unworthiness and all the core beliefs that I had inside of me that I walked around carrying, that showed on my face, that was almost like a repellent. Even though I was like, come close, it was like a repellent. God shed all of that off. And I know it had something to do with the fact of me forgiving my mother for things that she didn't have any control over. I mean, yes, she's an adult, she's human, she has control over her choices, but when you've lived a life that was traumatic and you've experienced a traumatic experience, until you get the healing that you need, you live and operate from a traumatic place. And everybody that receives you, or everybody that you come in contact with, they receive you through the lens of a traumatic place. And so I had to realize that all this time I was angry at my mom, and it impacted every single aspect of my life. It made me feel unlovable. It made me feel unworthy, even though my mama loved on me the best way she could, even though my mama made sure I had what I needed. But because I was a child, I didn't understand. I just took it in and remained silent. And that thing began to fester and grow and permeate and become rotten, like a festering, boiling over wound. It's disgusting. And that was ruling my entire life. But it took God to rescue me from the most horrible pit, the most the worst trap that was ever set for me. God came and smashed every fetter. He came and smashed every shackle, and he came and rescued me. He heard my cry. See, that's the thing. God knows our hearts. He knows our hearts, and he knows that we want him and that we love him. And he knows the things that you've grown up with. He knows your experiences. He understands them. He knows how you feel and your perspective. He knows it all. And in spite of all those things, God will do whatever he has to do to get you to the place you need to be in your purpose and in your destiny. Because he created you not just to live and just die. He created you to be a representation of him, to be an expression of him in the earth. And in order for him to get the glory out of you, to help other people that's waiting on you, he got to rescue you first. And that's what he did for me. And I just want to speak to those that have lived their life in rejection, have let anxiety plague them, has let people please and rule their life over their choices, over their own desires, that have been silent and kept their mouth shut. This is for you. Be you. Shed off the mask, live in your true and stand in your true authentic self. Allow yourself to heal from the traumas and the hurts and the disappointments that you experience in your life, and let it go. Release it from your life and let God come in and pour out his balm, because that's the only thing that can come and wash away the wound, wash away the hurt, wash away the disappointment, wash away and cleanse the wound from the inside out. You got to let God do that. And once you allow yourself to come to a place where you let God do that for you, then you're free to step in your authority as his child. See, it's not about being the pastor, or it's not about being a great teacher or being a prophet. That's something that you do. That's just a skill. It's a characteristic of you. It's not you. Who you are is his child.